has the potential to be really ugly, citing the inevitable growing pains rookies face in the NFL when handling pressure from both opposing defenses as well as the media. So, Shannon, you were big on the Patriots going with Cam Newton before he was released this week. So how much truth is there to what Jermaine is saying?
Well, Skip, I don't think there's a whole lot of truth, and there's no way to quantify it, especially at the beginning, because he might struggle and then it benefit him like it did Peyton Manning. I believe this is a 10 or 11 win team. I believe they can make the playoffs. That's how good I believe the talent base is for this team.
No matter the quarterback.
No matter the quarterback.
Okay.
Because, Skip, they're going to rely heavily on the run game. This is what they want to do. They're going to play a lot of 12 Now, I don't know how soon Henry is getting back, but they like to play 12 personnel and run the football, play action off of that. Mac Jones gets the ball out of hand extremely quick. Now, he's going to have to understand he can't hold the ball. He doesn't have Alabama's offensive line. No. So he's going to have to get rid of the football, and he's done a great job of that, except the last game, Skip, when he held the ball too long, and he went down, if I'm not mistaken, 4 times. But to say it's a huge mistake, Skip, even if he does struggle, maybe that's the struggle that he needs to help him in the long run. So if they win 10 games, make the playoffs, was it a mistake? No. Even if they don't win 10 games, even if they miss the playoffs, Skip, Coach Belichick is trying to play the long game. He says, this is the quarterback that I selected in the first round. I'm tied to him. He showed me enough in the joint practices and in the preseason games that I believe he can handle it. And when I say handle it, run the football, play action, we're not going to ask him to beat Tom in year 10. We're going to ask him to beat Tom in the first 2 years.
Okay.
We believe he can handle that. So to say it's a mistake, Skip, we won't know. We're going to have to look and see maybe 2-3 years down the line. If he's a mess like David Carr, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
If he turns out to be Peyton Manning, if he turns out to be one of these other quarterbacks that started, got the hell beat out of him through 20-plus interceptions, and he turns out to be great. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Peyton Manning. That's a whole different story, Skip. But I'm saying if he turns out to be what they think he's going to be, Skip, this might have been the right call. Although I do believe Cam Newton should have started out first with him.
Like 6-7 games.
Yes,
right?
yes.
You said 5-2.
I believe they could have been 5-2 with Cam Newton.
And I kept telling you, you don't want to go in with a negative mindset, like, well, we'll put the kid in when Cam starts to fail. Well, you don't want Cam to fail. You'd hope he just hold on to the job and you'd go to the playoffs and win a couple playoff games, right?
Making this move, Skip, it seems to me Coach Belichick wanted this kid to play sooner rather than later.
Well, sure. Okay. So, that's what I told you all along.
Yes.
I can just see it, feel it, smell it. Belichick wants to go with this kid. And if he goes forward with this kid, Cam's personality is so huge, you have to cut bait.
Dominating,
you just have to clear the decks so that the kid's head is clear and he doesn't have Cam Newton looking over his shoulder.
There was never a doubt, Skip, that if Mac Jones won this job, that Cam was going to get released. There was never a doubt about that.
All right. So I'm stepping back and I'm listening to what Jermaine Wiggins said here. And I'm not going to dismiss it as absurd.
No,
I'm not going to say ask a 9, ask a 10, ask a 15.
Right.
Or 12, maybe I should say, for Tom Brady. But I'm good with him going forward with Mac Jones, but it ain't going to be easy.
Right.
Because Cam's not looking over his shoulder anymore, but Tom Brady is looking over his shoulder. Whether you like it or not, he just is. The ghost of Brady or whatever, the specter of Brady is still hovering over this kid's shoulder.
Expectations is looking over his shoulder because a lot of people believe this is a playoff team.
Okay, well, that's Jermaine Wiggins' point, is that when you spend that much money and you're poised to have a playoff team and everything looks so much better than it looked last year, his point is, well, just go with the veteran and figure it out. And if the kid has to sit for 1 year, maybe you maximize this year with the team and then you ease him in next year. And I don't really care that much about Jermaine Wiggins, but I will say he started on Brady's first go-round in 2001. Remember,
he caught a couple of passes on that drive.
Well, in which drive?
The Super Bowl.
On the Super Bowl, but I remember him most because I was there in the press box in the Tuck Rule game that launched the dynasty, and it was the wrong call. It was a bad call, and Brady and company and Belichick got the break of their life, but it launched a dynasty. Jermaine Wiggins in that game caught 10 passes in the snow.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It wasn't for high yard. I think it was like 66 yards.
Right.
But he just kept catching big little passes, like 3rd and 2 passes.
Right.
They just throw it to because there's no footing.
It wasn't throwing it way down the field.
Throw it to the guy with the biggest feet, right? The guy who's got sort of snowshoes on, and be Jermaine Wiggins. So he knows what it felt like to have, it wasn't a rookie quarterback, it was second-year quarterback starting in his first year for a team that I don't know that people thought it was going to be great.
They didn't have the expectations that this team has.
They did not. That is well said. So the problem Mac Jones is about to face is, whether he likes it or not, he is going to be proclaimed. He's going to be expected to be the next Tom Brady.
Correct.
Sooner than later, that's going to be his bar. It's going to be set up there. And it's completely unfair.
Right.
But you're going to have to start living up to expectations, because you kind of play like the other guy does, at least when Tom was.
You got a knee brace, and you saw his photo with the shirt off and he's smoking that cigar. Yeah. He got to look like Tom Brady.
Okay.
It is a combine photo.
He kind of does. No, he does.
He's just not as tall as Tom.
No, he's Brady-esque. What do we give him, 6'2"?
Yeah, I think he's 6'2".
And Brady's 6'4".
Right.
So, but he's probably slightly more athletic than Brady. I think he's definitely a little faster than Brady, but I don't think it's going to manifest itself in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem is, this kid is going to get, like, Brady didn't have to overcome anything.
Right.
Because it's just Drew Bledsoe who had struggled. They were 0-2 already.
Right.
They'd been 5-11 the year before.
Right.
So there was no real pressure on Tom Brady to be anything but Tom Brady.
Correct.
Right? And later he started to be compared to his hometown hero, to Joe Montana.
Right.
But that didn't come for a long time.
But Joe Montana didn't play for the Patriots.
No, he didn't play for that. It was just it's where Tom grew up, going to 49er games in the Bay Area.
Right.
So the point is, in the end, Jermaine has a point. Can the kid overcome the pressure to be Brady-esque? And yet, I cannot think, if I'm going to throw a kid into a fire, he's in the most protected fire he could ever be thrown into, because now the guy many people, and starting with the guy across the table, thinks is the greatest head coach ever, he has bought completely into you. So he will do everything in his power to make you right, to put you, to prop you up, to protect you, to make sure that you do the very best you're capable of doing.
Right.
You have a powerful run game. It is deep and powerful.
And for the very reason, Skip, we talked about it yesterday about Mondre Stevenson, Skip, getting the bulk of the carries. The reason why, they're going to run the ball 40, 50 times a game, and no one back can carry it like that over sustained time.
No.
But I got 3 backs that can carry it 40 to 50 times a game, and we can sustain that throughout the season, and that's going to be their recipe. You watch.
And dink and dunk. Just Brady dinked and dunked his first couple of years. Maybe, especially his first year.
Yeah, you start getting nosy, Skip. You start getting nosy, try to jump one of those crossers. We'll throw the post in behind you. You get nosy. We'll fake this bubble screen, and we'll shoot the guy up the rail. Okay.
So the one line that caught my eye from Jermaine Wiggins was, I think it's a huge mistake, and it has the potential to get really ugly. I thought that was kind of in your head and heart as you watch this thing start to take shape, because I thought you were thinking, oh, my God, if they throw this kid into the fire too soon, it could get ugly.
Yeah, but Skip, I just think the thing is that Coach Belichick says, look, we're better offensively, we're better defensively. I drafted this kid. Now, the kid surprised. I knew he was good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good, this quick. Why are we delaying it? Like I said, I heard it from someone that's very close to Coach Belichick that he almost went with Tom Brady in 2001. He said, no, hey.
No, he almost cut him, you mean?
No, he almost went with the star over Bledsoe.
First. Oh, I got it. I thought you meant coming out of the...
No.
Oh, just went with him and started the year.
Right. Okay. And so I think he's thinking, Skip, this is the same, I got the same opportunity. This guy showed me enough. I'm going to go with it. I believe Josh McDaniels can coach him up.
Yep.
We can do things to prop him up.
Yep.
Because, Skip, he dealt with pressure. Because most of the quarterbacks in the last decade that came through Alabama, they got a national championship on their resume. Then we don't know where they're going to be good at pros. But if you come through Alabama as a quarterback more times than not, what do, Skip? You play for it and you win a national championship.
Yep.
And he had that on it. He got one crack at it.
I give him that.
He got one crack, Skip.
Yep.
He made the most of it. A guy that many people thought was going to be a third or a fourth round pick somehow played so well he played his way into 15th pick overall.
He did.
So, Skip, look, I still believe this team can win 10 or 11 games. I believe this is a playoff team, even with Mac Jones.
Okay. And yet I still think there will be some growing
Oh,
pains.
of course.